Hey everybody, welcome back. It's a gorgeous day. It's supposed to be 70 today, 80 in the next couple of days. Just nuts. Välkommen tillbaka. Tack för sist. Det är så käckt att ha er här. Thank you for the last time. Welcome back. It's so fun having y'all here. Oh, by the way, new hat my buddy got me. Bad choices make good stories. Ain't that the truth? So the story I'm about to tell could have led to some really bad choices. I don't know if I was going to say, luckily I avoided it, but I don't know. Maybe it would have been fun. So I've done a couple of a few videos about, growing up Mormon, going on a mission, leaving the Mormon church. And there seems to be a fair bit of curiosity about that. I've been, I go on YouTube myself all the time. I watch tons of videos, especially since I've been injured for the last month. I spend a ton of time. I like watching climbing videos and caving and mountaineering, stuff I wouldn't do myself. It's just too risky for me. Excuse me. So, I'm really into the YouTube stuff myself. But I've noticed there's a lot of stories on there about leaving the Mormon church or that kind of stuff. I've seen videos that have millions and millions of views. So there's some interest out there. So I thought I would tell, it's not really a story, it's more of an anecdote, a whole kind of everything put together. So granted, this is back in 1983, 84. So there's a good chance things have changed. I'm telling it from my perspective because that's my experience. And when I was in Norway, so I spoke the language when I got there, and then I pretty much perfected it when I was there. I'm rusty again now, but I was fluent by the middle of the time I was there, for the year and a half I was there. But if you're not familiar, missionaries have a day off once a week. Even Sundays aren't days off. We would go to church and then we would go out and knock on doors, which was called tracting, T-R-A-C-T, and just cold calling people, basically. A lot of people were annoyed by that. Some were nice, most weren't. And Norwegians are really nice people, but I get it. Some stranger comes to your door trying to sell you on Jesus, and I get it. But you get one day off a week. Now, most missions when I was out, like I had friends all over the world. I had a friend in Korea, a friend in Italy, and we talked to each other a lot, a friend in Iceland. And you got the one day off a week, and most of the missions, you got that whole day off. So the whole day was your free day. I mean, you were still very limited in what you could do. We had very strict rules. You couldn't just go out and party. Hey, it's my day off. I'm going to go have some beers. That's not how it worked. Our day off, which is called P Day, preparation day, it's really supposed to be to prepare for the week, but it was like your relaxed day. Our P Day only lasted until 5 p.m. and then we had to go back out again. And I believe it was a Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday the whole time I was there. But when I got back to my hometown of Stavanger, Norway, which I got to in May of 1984, and I was there till the end of August 84. So I was there for several months, got to hang out with a lot of my relatives. The mission president we had was very nice to me. He let me, go out to the country and spend a weekend with my grandma and grandpa, Bestemol and Bestfall. They're both passed. Well, my grandpa a long time ago. Bestemol died in 2012, right after I had gone to see her. So it was awesome. And P days, we could go see my relatives that were in Stavanger. But we also did a lot of other things. We would, go play Frisbee in the park, go throw the football around, maybe shoot some basketball if we could find a court. Basketball was not very big in Norway back then. But the thing a lot of people don't realize about Norway, and specifically Stavanger, there's a beach there. It's called Sola Beach. Sola is basically sun. Sol is sun. Sola Strand, S-T-R-A-N-D is beach. So Sola Strand, it's kind of out by the airport, but it's this beautiful beach that you just don't expect to see in Northern Europe, way up north. And because the Gulf Stream runs along the coast of Norway, the west coast is actually relatively mild. Now, a summer day in Stavanger, a warm day, is in the 70s. If it hits the 80s, that's very warm. Typical day is probably more like mid 60s to low 70s, rainy a lot. But if the sun would come out and it was 65 degrees, the beach was packed. And back then, I don't know how it is now, but back then, it's kind of amazing that our mission president let us go to the beach. So we'd take a Frisbee, go down to the beach, sometimes 2 of us, sometimes 4 or 6 of us. But the crazy thing back then is a lot of the girls / women that would go to the beach back then were topless. And when you're serving a Mormon mission and you're living this strict life, you know, there's not even dating. We weren't allowed to date, let alone, you know, everything that could come with dating. Premarital sex is not just frowned on, it's forbidden in the Mormon religion. You know, if you do it, you go confess Jesus, you get forgiven, blah, blah, blah. But as a 20-year-old man, 5,000, 6,000 miles from home, on a day where we're not wearing suits and ties, because that's all you ever wore was suit and tie. It wasn't warm enough most of the time to just go around in a shirt and tie. So all of a sudden we're in jeans and just, you know, a t-shirt or something and sneakers. And we're on the beach. We weren't allowed to go in the water. That's a story I may have to tell. I don't know if that's still a thing in the Mormon church, but just real briefly, the water was the domain of the devil. And specifically when you're on a mission, you're not allowed to go. And I actually have a cool story about that. It's kind of a cool / scary story. It's got both ends of it. So maybe I'll tell that next. But when you're on the beach as a 20-year-old, and if you're not familiar, Norwegian women are gorgeous. And you're also forbidden from doing all this stuff, and you're seeing these beautiful women, a lot of them topless. Now, it's not like they just ran around the beach like that. Most of them would sunbathe, and a lot of times they were just on their stomachs. But I won't go into detail of some of the things we saw on the beach, although some of you get pissed off at me when I don't tell details. Let's put it this way. Even though we were in t-shirts and jeans, my companion would always be an American. Well, that's not true. At the end of my mission, I had a Norwegian for a companion. He was from Oslo. Tomatle, I won't say his last name. Fantastic guy. I actually called him 7 or 8 years ago, and we had a fantastic talk. He is still in the church, very faithful to it, and God bless him. Good dude. But most every other companion I had the whole time was American. And their level of Norwegian ranged from really bad to really good. But for some reason, they just knew who we were, even in t-shirt and jeans. It just, something about us, these young guys, you know, everybody else is in swimsuits and bikinis, and we're running around fully dressed. And it was like, it seemed like it was a challenge to some of these girls. I say girls, when I say girls, it could be anywhere from, well, back then, you got to remember, we were only 19, 20 years old. So it was late teens to mid-20s probably. It was like a challenge for them to, now I don't know if anything would have happened, but it was like to tempt the missionaries, to see if they could get them to screw up. We would go sometimes knock on a door, and it would be, this actually happened to me, a couple of like 18, 19-year-old girls would open the door topless, just to get a reaction out of us. And of course, if you're familiar with Joseph in the Bible, he runs from it. And that's what we did. We turned the second that showed up, going the other way. I always said to my buddies, we need to go back to Norway after my mission. But it was very challenging, let's put it that way, because not only on the beaches, Girls back then seemed like they had a thing for Americans, for one thing, and then also a thing for trying to, excuse me, tempt the Mormon missionary boys. It seemed like all of them knew who we were. And it was a constant challenge. I will say without hesitation that I lived by the rules the whole mission. Not easy. Excuse me. I had a lot of friends, let's say acquaintances, that didn't live by the rules, that strayed way off the path. But I had decided when I went out that if I'm going to go, I'm going to do it, you know, and I'll see if this church is for me. It didn't take long, a year or two after my mission, I started gradually leaving. It took, I don't know, 15, 20 years before I fully left. It just never felt right to me. And that doesn't mean it's not for somebody else. One thing that always got me, and I don't know that they do this as much anymore, but they used to very emphatically say this is the only true church on earth. It's the only church, excuse me, that has all of the truth. And that always seemed, I don't know, arrogant, pretentious, and I didn't like it. And now, as I guess I'm technically a Jack Mormon. By the way, I never did take my name off the records. I just didn't care. I know I've had a bunch of you write and say, you need to take your name off. Have you taken your name off? I don't care. I really don't. I don't consider myself LDS. I don't consider myself any religion. And I've also had a lot of people on YouTube and TikTok, if I bring up this subject, say, you got to find Jesus. You got to accept Jesus. And that means different things to different people. I've accepted God/Jesus into my life in my own way. And it's, for me, it's nature. We love camping. We love going out in nature. I love exploring it. And that's where I see God. I see God in my kids and my grandkids and my wife and my friends. I see all the good. I see I don't know if you can see them, the beautiful mountains around me. Just a beautiful day like this, and just feeling blessed to get to enjoy it, to be part of this. You know, I've been around 62 years. I've had a lot of friends that passed away in the last, I guess, it's 9 years since, no, 10 years no, 9 years this year since a really good buddy passed, coming up here in a few weeks. And since then, we've lost, I think, 4 more friends. Most of them to cancer, one to an accident. The one with an accident was not a good friend. He was a friend. So 5, 6 people in their 40s and 50s. And of course, there's people that die as children and teens. And I feel really blessed to have lived a really good life. I hope I have 35 more years in front of me, but only if my mind's there. I know I've kind of strayed away from my original topic, but it's adjacent. So I think I will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for subscribing. If you dig the videos and you haven't, please subscribe. If you don't, that's cool too. I say it all the time. You do you. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I try to be a nice, friendly guy. Even when I get the negative comments, I do not send negative back. I feel bad for people that feel the need to go on and slam on somebody who puts themselves out here. And I watch lots of YouTube videos, and sometimes I'm like, that was kind of a crappy video. But I do not go on there and say, man, this was a crappy video, do better. You want to do that, that's cool. You get to. But I try really hard just to put positive vibes out there. I just made a t-shirt on my Etsy shop, kind of for my TikTok/YouTube audience. I don't know what to call it. Friends. And it says, I wanted to do positive vibes, but that is a trademark thing, so I couldn't put it on a t-shirt. So I made one that's called Feel the Good. Maybe I'll show it to you in one of these videos and put the link in there if you're interested. If you're not, that's totally cool too. Just For reference, my Etsy shop is vikingheartdesigns.etsy.com. vikingheartdesigns, like heart.etsy.com. Check it out. See what you think. You don't have to buy anything. This is a shirt that I made too, by the way. It's the 530 crew, which I think I've talked about and I will talk about more in the future. We'll leave it there. Dragging on. I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful Tuesday. I can't believe this weather. It's gorgeous. Gonna head down to the market now. Got all the grandkids and kids coming over tonight. So we always love that. Tuesday night is kind of our get the whole family together, all 4 kids, all 6 grandkids, son-in-law. And it's just a good time. And we love it. I think Kate's gonna make spaghetti tonight. So have a beautiful day. Thank you for watching. Tack för denna gång. Vi snackas igen snart. Hoppas du har en helt fantastisk dag. Thank you for this time. We'll see you next time. I hope you have a fantastic day. Peace, love.